Well, hello. Welcome to a show where I should probably get my microphone closer to my face. Hey, it is the Blathering Live episode 213 of an ongoing series made mostly by you and your calls. We will get some calls going here tonight. It's an hour of power kind of show tonight, but it might just be an hour. I fortunately got booked tonight hosting two comedy shows tonight, so if you're in the Burbank area, the greater Burbank area, 7:30, 9:30 shows at Flappers, part of their 15th anniversary birthday celebration. So, all that to say, little Kenny might have to get going. But I'm happy to have you here, JMB, Mr. McClunky, just popping in to say hello. Off to see the Mariners play. All right, I like that. Addie's here, hopefully feeling better. We'll get an update from her. Mandalorian Jedi's here. I'm still smarting from Mandalorian Jedi and Ranger Donald defeating me in week 1 of the Blathering Fantasy Football League. And it's not looking good for me. Not looking good for me this week either. Jared the TIE Pilot checking in from Six Flags. We're going to take a call from him here shortly. If you want to call in the show, that was right here. I said here. If you want to call in, become a YouTube channel member. Appreciate people like James Holmes, Kingsport Cal, and others who gift memberships. It really helps bring people in here. You can also be a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/Napzok. New episode of Pop Rocket Radio just went up tonight. Got some classics, some new bands, and some requests. Some good requests came in this week. You can still request shows for Pop Rocket Radio if you're a fan. Just email me at poprocketradio@gmail.com. We're gonna get the calls. Here's kind of where I'm at, and I want to be honest with it. I want to talk about whatever you want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about fun things. Tully Quinn, we can celebrate Tully still being sentient or sentient. Let's have some fun tonight. It's Saturday night. Jared's at Six Flags. Let's have some fun tonight. I am still in a state of anger over the I don't know what to even describe it. The reaction, the hoopla, the discussion, the discourse, whatever dumb word we want to use to describe it. Following the murder of Charlie Kirk, which we talked about Thursday, we talked about it anytime. I'm still angry about the reaction. I'm still seeing things from people that are just infuriating. And there was a Blue Sky post I wanted to share. I'll just read it. It was reposted. I refuse to say skeet. It was reposted from a author I know, named Matt Wallace. We're not close, but we've hung out before. He's spectacular. Check him out. Give him a good follow. He reposted something that I saw that's kind of explaining where my head is and why I do want to push forward. But if you want to talk about it, I would talk about it. But I want to push forward into silly things, and other things. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to be honest where my frame of mind is. This post from someone named Peter, not a lawyer.bsky.social, said there's a weird feedback loop where the media's reaction, and I'll add to other people's reactions to Kirk's death, pushes you to speak more ill of the dead than you otherwise would, because it's the only reasonable response to the simpering praise they're heaping on him. That's where I'm at right now, and I don't know where you're all at with it, but that's where I'm at. Because, yeah, as I've said many times, and hopefully clear, it doesn't mean I always say it clear, because I'm speaking with a little bit of anger, which isn't healthy or helpful. But yeah, none of this is good. And I think even some of the fallout will continue to be horrible. This isn't good. I think it's a watershed moment. But to have people not separate the incident from the entire picture continues to be something that infuriates me. Because it's people I know. It's people I've encountered with, people who I think are otherwise some good people I grew up with, not just kids, but parents of kids that I knew who I always looked up to. And I saw them doing we lost a great man, and you can feel that. But I'm still going to need to have some sort of pushback thrown at you about what was actually said and done by this man and how that contributes to the whole situation overall. I'm still just mind blown by some of the stuff I've seen, but also, as I said yesterday, anytime, it's sometimes things are so surprising because they're not surprising, and that's also where we're at. And going back to that post, I just really agree with that, because I am, especially if you watch anytime, I'm always one over the last 2 years or so that's like, yeah, Alden, let's look at it from a calmer perspective. And Alden's got the energy of youth and a perspective I so admire and learn from, continue to learn from. That's why I love working with him and others like that, and producer Steve and all you callers too. I love learning. I love trying to move forward and not just, boom, sitting pat in my thoughts and beliefs. But if you've watched, I'm like, well, I've got some experience. I'm normally that. And now I find myself in this really angry spot about this man's death. Horrendous again. Affecting, could really crush your soul if you watch the video clip and you weren't prepared for it. Like all those things. Because I can't believe the tidal wave of stuff that's going on. I also, before we move on, again, I really want to talk about silly things tonight. I have a comedy show tonight. I got to go on stage. I'm not prepared to talk about any of this stuff. I've got some anti-ice jokes I'm going to throw out there tonight that I did at a show recently, and it worked pretty well. So that's going to be my political angle tonight at the comedy show. But I'm hosting the show, so I'm not a comic. It's a little different vibe. You just got to get things going. I do want to say, though, I think I owe the world a little bit of an apology for things I said on Thursday and Friday at any time. Where, we always want to double check. You always want to dig in. You always just don't want to stop on the surface. And I think I stopped on the surface on something related to this idea that Charlie Kirk said we should stone gays. And Stephen King got into this mess. You probably all saw it. And he's since deleted his post and I issued an apology and everyone jumped on him and all this kind of thing. So I was like, wow, I kind of did that too. I think I do owe the world an apology. And so I apologize for that. I jumped into something. I saw something and that seemed right. So you stop at that seems about right and you don't dig in. When you dig in a little more, here's the actual thing I think most people are referring to. And go with me on this journey. First of all, Charlie Kirk has, in fact, made calls for violence against the queer community in recent years. And I'm reading a lot of this from Yahoo News. But this was a 2024 incident where Kirk was reacting to the video of a YouTuber, some of you might know, Ms. Rachel. She was talking about the importance of love thy neighbor, referenced Leviticus, his response to it. And I'm quoting, by the way, Ms. Rachel, you might want to crack open that Bible of yours. And a lesser reference part of the same part of Scripture is, and then there's an ellipsis, in Leviticus 18 is that thou shalt lay with another man, shall be stoned to death. And he says, Kirk's quote, just say it. Now, there's some stuff that some people say, he goes on to say about the Bible's law is perfect. And from that, some people extrapolated that he absolutely saying stone him to death. So I don't know if he actually said that. That's not actually true, but I don't know. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this doesn't look any better to me. He's also called trans people sick in 2023. And he said, quote, someone should have just took care of it the way we used to take care of things in the 1950s and 60s. And we can go on and on and on and on. One post, according to Yahoo News, and it's a quote, it should be legal to burn a rainbow or a Black Lives Matter flag in public. So why I apologize for assuming that he said those exact words that we should stone gay people. Because Dave Rubin, political commentator, talked about, he was always, Charlie... And this was in response to Stephen King, calling him an idiot and everything. Charlie was always nice to me and my husband, this and that. And I actually believe that. And that kind of makes it worse. That makes Kirk's words even more dangerous and also more hollow because it's a complete grift at that point. If you are nice to the gay friends in your life, but then go out and say that we should take care of this like they did in the 50s and 60s. Remember, in the 50s and 60s, videos were actually put out there about how unnatural it was to be gay, how, it was criminal, it was a mental illness, it was, don't smoke the reefer and also watch out for that dude, like that was the aspect, which is the same kind of energy and talking points they put behind the anti-trans movement now, right? Some of them are transitioning so they can go in that bathroom and they can commit criminal acts. And it's also warping the minds of the youth. It's a sickness. It's the same kind of violent rhetoric. So, while I do want to issue an apology because I want to live what I preach as best I can, because as the information unfolds of the assassin, which sounds, it's a weird term, the murderer, this Tyler Robinson, as more comes out, that's still on. You don't even want to wait in that right now, because we have kind of a picture, but then we have all this stuff. You have Spencer Cox, the governor of Utah, who said he received some praise yesterday and the day before for some of the nice things he said. He at least evoked the name of Melissa Hortman in Minnesota, her murder, of course, often forgotten or not talked about in a bigger sense. He said some right things. He today is doing this killer's, he was dripping in leftist ideology. Also, by the way, these folks are seeing what's inscribed on these casings and the bullets, and you're hearing a lot of this stuff. A lot of you in my audience should know. A lot of it is references to the video game Helldivers 2. A lot of it is potentially, but not, we don't know this for a fact, but potentially connected to Fuentes' group, Nick Fuentes. I hope you all know who Nick Fuentes is. And the Groypers. I have to learn to say that. I'm so glad I don't know how to say that. Groypers. So you could be that. There's also just some trolling. There's also a lot of 4chan kind of bullshit. A lot of, anti-furry, anti-gay rhetoric. It's a 22-year-old's mishmash of fucked up ideologies. It's scribbled on casings to not even make a point. I don't know. We'll never know. Maybe he'll explain it. He is still in custody, right? So because a lot of folks rushed to that, I'm not going to say what political side they are, because people like Nancy May say war. Because we know a little bit more, I'm sure they'll do what I have done today, which is change and acknowledge that maybe I stepped forward incorrectly on something and I wanted to get more context. That's kind of where my mind is. Osvetnik says it right. The guy was definitely terminally online. And because there's a lot of folks who are not online, I would love to know. I'm just now a yelling man on the internet. I totally get it. I would love to know a lot of my friends who have Bible verses in their profile pictures, who I went to school with, who I worked with. I would love to know those saying that we lost this great Christian man. I would love to know if they are aware of Nick Fuentes and the Groypers and the deep right versus deep right battle that might be going on, that Kirk may have been killed for not being fascist enough, all those kind of things, none of which I will consider factual at this point. But as that rolls out, do they even know? Because they're terminally offline or they're terminally sheltered in a we are not of this world way. And by the way, we have a lot of folks that are in this audience or call into the show regularly, including me, who still believe in God or believe in a God and have a spiritual side. And I love you here. Brennan Marr calls in with some wonderful stuff. Joseph Thomas in chat the other day. A lot of you still have those connections and beliefs, and I appreciate your presence because a lot of you recognize that these folks aren't standing up for what you believe in. I hope you join us, and you do, in the stand against them. So I just want to do silly stuff. And I'm going to take a little calm little break here. We can take a breath. And if you all want to talk about it, you guys got some great comments in chat. I want to get to it. But I have to be honest. I have been angry. And anger is not good, right? Anger begets anger. I don't know if that's in the Bible, but it sounds like. You throw a begat in there, you're at least at a King James version. Anger begets anger. There was a section on the show Thursday. One of our listeners, wonderful Matthew, talked about the loss of humanity and maybe it's okay to recognize the humanity of Charlie. I do for his kids. I'll give it for him. His widow said some very inflammatory words, but you know what? I gotta imagine she's in a bit of an altered state right now. We'll see where that lands. But it seemed like a lot of call to action for Christian nationalism. But I don't even care at that point. She's in an altered state. I can't imagine that, right? I can't imagine that phone call that you get. I will have empathy for her that. I'll choose to have that now. But it has been on my mind. And I got to go to a comedy show. I gotta make laughs tonight. All right. So let us. I'm going to take a breath for just 1 second. That's what we're going to do. All right. That's what we're going to do. I want to highlight some of the stuff here that you should support. Hey, if you're in LA, check out my friend Paul Preston's LA Film Locations Tour. He takes his spots that, even if you think you know the city, you don't know. Hey, do you need to relax like I do? My friend Scott has a great podcast. It's called Blue Star Meditation. Apple, Spotify. Find it. Relax. I'm going to use it. Our buddy Ken Plume. There's a great book out there. You can order it. bit.ly/DuckTales book. The deluxe edition, The Art of DuckTales. Ken's a great writer. Has a mastery over the word. And has just a great heart for the things he loves. Check it out. Check it out. All right. Other things out there as well. Be back in 1 second. All right. Let's take some calls. Let's take some calls tonight. First up, he's been waiting so long. I don't know what's actually going on. Make sure the camera's not up. All right. Jared, the TIE pilot, is calling in from Six. I call it Magic Mountain because that's the Six Flags near me. But what Six Flags are you at?
We just call it Six Flags New England. We keep it simple.
That's good. Okay. That's good. What's on the docket? What's the reason you're there?
Oh, I'm a giant roller coaster guy, and I have a season's pass. So, woke up with a random Saturday off, and I was like, screw it.
I love that. Isn't that just that makes the relaxation even more relaxing because it's not planned. You're just getting to experience it.
And it was a nice dead day at the park because all the kiddies are back in school, and mom and dad aren't bringing them out.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. I have nothing against children, and I think they have every right to be at theme parks. I do like it when they're not there.
Right? It's not necessarily the children. It's just people. All of a sudden, I have to wait now.
Yeah. No, I had so much fun at theme park. I love seeing kids get to Disneyland for the first time. It is magical. I am all for it. But there's those times where you're like, look, I just got drunk at Ariel's Grotto. I need to go to the roller coaster without these kids around me. That's right. Good. What else? Yeah. What else is on your mind, buddy? I'm taking you down a anti-children at theme parks conversation that you might not want to have.
Oh, that's all right. I don't have kids. They are a punishment in some countries for crimes.
I'll leave that one. I'll leave that one where it is.
No, just another beautiful Saturday here. Nothing crazy. The world's crazy enough. You don't need my shit.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, we're always here for each other's shit to get through. At this theme park, I don't go to.
Don't die on your own show.
Yeah. Kingsport Cal's right. I got to calm down my blood pressure. I'm too old to be doing this blood pressure rising to the top thing. I'm a Disneyland guy. I don't go to a lot of roller coaster first locations, Six Flags and Knott's Berry Farm. I enjoy them. I didn't go to roller coaster still a little bit later in life because my mom transferred her fears of them to me. Not blaming my mom. She didn't intend to. It just happened. But I do enjoy them. Food-wise, though, if you're heavy on the roller coasters, do you kind of measure your food intake at the theme parks a little differently?
I used to not, as we all had the iron stomach as we were younger, but now, because I'm also to the point where I don't need to be here when the park opens till it closes, Right. I like to just get here, do my thing, leave. So my usual routine is get breakfast in my hometown at the nice little local diner. See my girl Karen hooks me up with the good waffles.
Love it.
But I am a sucker. Every time I come, I got to get that dot ice cream. Just something about it that hits different here.
Okay, I love that. I love California Adventure at Disneyland Anaheim has chocolate chip ice cream cookie sandwiches like Nestle, and it's perfection there. I've gotten them at the
right?
store and been like, no, this ain't the same. It's like the Diet Coke and McDonald's, which I know
Yeah.
there's
To
maybe
me, it's
reasons
like
for it.
going to Disney and getting a churro. Like, there's just
Yeah,
some things.
I really agree with that. That's amazing, Jared. Yeah, and you're right. Like our stomachs change over time. But you know,
But
I actually you jumped on something here that I'll let you go if you're waiting in line or anything there. But
no. The park actually just closed. I'm making the long walk to the car.
oh well, get the hell out of there. I do love. There is a point, and look, it's different if you're on vacation, if you're going with people, kids, even. You know, again, they are allowed at theme parks. But I love when you reach that point, and perhaps it's also financial security or life. I don't know what it is, or age, like you said, where you're like, I don't need to be there at 8 a.m. for Disneyland to open. I can get there at 10:30. I can get lunch. I can sit and just watch people.
Right.
I've been here enough. I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is.
Exactly.
I hit that point in about 2007. With my girlfriend at the time, used to go all the time. She was a season pass holder, and it just was it kind of changed the experience in a good way.
Yeah.
If you can,
No, it's definitely a good experience change. I feel like because today the park was 11 to 7. I got here at like 2:30. Took a nap in my car around 5.
Wow, car naps. You're heavy. You're serious.
I was a goofball and I thought it was going to be a lot cooler today, so I wore jeans, but it turned out to be a nice day. So
I've done that.
I was like, I need to go cool off a little.
That's yeah, I've been there. You overdress.
Yep.
All right. Well, I was going to ask you to tell us the ride you're going to go on next, but the ride is your car home, apparently.
Oh yeah. And my last ride was Superman the ride, the big roller coaster here.
Wait, is that the same that it is out of Magic Mountain where it shoots you up like 100 stories or something?
No, this is a traditional crank up style.
Okay.
I know the one you Superman Escape that
Superman
you have.
Escape.
Yeah, that one looks like a lot of fun.
It's great. Oh my God. I wouldn't say I love roller coasters, but I do enjoy the thrill if I can get over my fears to get on them. But the Superman Escape, it's so fast too. So the fear, it doesn't have time to take hold.
Right. You're not cranking up 200 feet.
Yeah. And it just, for those that don't know, you start here like and you're kind of in the ice caves there on the Superman's fortress there, Fortress of Solitude. And you launch out and you just build up so much speed and you just go straight up, man. I don't even know how many actual floors you go up. But right at the top, looking down at you is like Superman with his hands on his hips. And there's like a second pause where you're just staring into the heavens and Superman's there. And then you start falling back. And it's it's
pretty
a great
epic
experience. Yeah. So there you go. All right, buddy. Thank you, Jared. Get home safe, okay?
Always. I'll see you guys later for backstage.
All right. Yeah, Steve doing a backstage tonight. So hang out with producer Steve over on Blathering Backstage. Soft announcement. Of course, we know Steve this week, he and his family expecting the new addition to the roster. So we'll keep you updated on that. So Steve might not be here tonight. Most likely not here Thursday. Got a show Monday currently planned. We'll do an hour on Monday, but upon things settling, Blathering Backstage will eventually transition into Blathering Gaming. I've mentioned this before, but I've talked about it with Steve. Steve has some good ideas for it. We just feel that the internet has spoken, and you and the community have spoken, and that the Blathering Backstage is a great community builder and a community hangout spot. And that gaming attracts not just you, the core viewers here, but attracts a little bit other eyes, I should say. Sorry, stumbling over my words. And then some of the Blathering Backstage stuff and the Blathering Backstage branding will come back to this main channel here, just kind of be a playlist kind of thing whenever we want to do. And I also want to do some BTS stuff here. I'm toying with the idea of viewer interviews. Not that I deserve to be an interview subject, but I think it'd be kind of fun if off air, we fire up the cameras and you got 4 or 5 questions for me or something, silly like that. Might be something to build the brand out. And yes, I'm saying build the brand out like I work for some kind of corporation that wants to increase our shareholder value. But that is the way of the world. So look forward to that. And because of that, if you haven't subscribed to Blathering Backstage, we need 404 subscribers and under 300 hours or so to get to the next level on YouTube's partner program. So we're just 404 subscribers away. But if you haven't subscribed yet, if you're a core listener here, Even on the podcast side, head over to what is now currently Blathering Backstage. The way YouTube works, we'll be able to switch that. There's also a chance that it will be kind of like the Department of Defense is the official name, but the nickname's Department of War. It might be that over there as well. So stay tuned for that. We're having a lot of fun. Kate Van D is here. How you doing, Kate? Checking in. Good to have you around these parts. I want to keep going with the calls here. I do have my friend Chris on. I do have Addie on. I'm going to check in with Chris. I haven't heard from Chris in a while. And I want to give Addie a chance to, just make sure her voice is strong. She's been battling an illness. But let's get Chris on the show tonight. The greatest librarian in L.A. County on the show. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I purged a little bit of my anger tonight, trying to let it go.
That's
but
good.
what
always
are
a
you
good thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Always a good thing.
What's on your mind, buddy?
Steve's not on this evening, right? It's just you. Not to say just you.
It's just me.
Okay. Not to say just you, like it's a disappointment, but
no. Okay. What I'm saying is it stays between us.
Okay, gotcha. No, because it's a sports related question. That's why.
Okay.
But so I'm not too huge of a football fan, but I would like to. But one thing I love in football is trick plays, deception, fake field goals, all that sort of stuff. So my pitch to you is, if I was a pro football coach, my strategy would be all trick plays. Chaos on the field is one, because I like Fortnite Blitz.
Yeah,
because it's quick. You're in and out. It's just Donnybrook's everywhere you look.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of love chaos. That's why I love working in a public library. I don't know what's going to happen every single day. It's like some part of me just kind of thrives on chaos.
Yeah.
So I think if I was a football coach, but I mean, this might be a terrible idea. You're the one that's rocking Madden every single year. But I would go all trick plays. I want to know what you would think about that.
Okay, yeah, and just this morning over breakfast, I failed to get to the Super Bowl. I lost in the AFC Championship game. Raced into the offseason.
Who'd you lose to today?
Cincinnati Bengals on to Cincinnati, and then Washington won the Super Bowl in 2027. I'm already into 2028 on my Madden season, on my Madden franchise. So here's the thing. Yeah, first of all, I love Fortnite Blitz as well.
Yes.
You and I should double up over there. I love the chaos. Though after about 6 rounds, I literally just have to stop and take a breath because my blood pressure has risen, and I need to just go play a regular match to relax. But it's kind of fun. It's the adrenaline rush. It's a dopamine hit. Quickly on the football thing. Yeah. I love the idea. I call it playground kind of mentality, where let's just run some crazy plays.
Yes.
There is, I think, precedence for why it wouldn't work long term, and that is actually, believe it or not, with my Miami Dolphins, who in the mid-2000s, late 2000s, like 2008 range, unveiled what they called the Wildcat Formation. Okay. And the Wildcat Formation caught the New England Patriots off guard. This is at the height of the Patriots' power, and we kicked their ass because they did not know what to do with it. They took the quarterback and they put him out at wide receiver. Ronnie Brown, the running back, would take the hike. Another wide receiver, 2 running backs over here. You'd throw to the quarterback. It was chaos, and no one knew what to do with it. So you should actually, Chris, if you got time on the internet, just go see on YouTube the Wildcat offense and just see if there's any kind of YouTube videos on it.
All right, well, I will definitely do that, yes.
It's fantastic. The problem was the league figured it out fast. Other teams started to take it, and occasionally you will see the formation. I even this last year, maybe I heard Wildcat formation on another team. But it kind of, to me, is the precedence for, it's great for a game, it's great for 2 games, it's great for a series, but overall, the league, the coaches, the film they have, they're just too smart.
It's too wild.
And the league catches up with you. But
the no fun league. Yeah.
The no fun league.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, all you have to do, Chris, is buy Madden and just run the Wildcat offense yourself, and your dreams can come true.
I will try that. It's been a while since I've played Madden, but I remember when I did have it several years ago, I decided to maybe dip my toes into this, and I went for like a 70-yard field goal on second down. And even the announcers were like, "What is the coach thinking?" So even the announcers were like, "This guy is a bit too Looney Tunes for this."
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely things change. I think you're seeing these days there's less punts, there's less field goal tries, but farther field goal attempts
Right.
in
You
terms of
mentioned
yardage.
that, yes.
Yeah, but you have more coaches going for it on fourth down. It is a little, but that's statistic based, and it's one of the
Yeah.
things of like the analytics say. But look, I absolutely hope your chaos dream comes true.
All right. Well, if Miami Dolphins are looking for a new coach, let them know I'm interested. All right.
In about 2 weeks, check in.
All right. Sounds great.
All right. Thank you,
All
Chris.
right. Love you, bud.
Love that. Love Chris as well. He and his wife Karina, two of my favorites. And I know they've been some tough times lately over something, the loss of their wonderful dog. I'll just say it, Ed, Chris, if you're listening. Sorry to bring it up, but I just absolutely love you and know that was hard and appreciate you being here, man. One of the sweetest souls I've ever met in this hard, cold city is Chris. And his wife, Karina. They are two wonderful folks. Let's go to the UK really quick. Addie, give me a thumbs up if you forget. It's almost James Holmes' bedtime. And James Holmes is calling in. And come on. James, I can't let you hang. I know it's late over there. You got to get to bed early, and yet you're here with us. So welcome back to the show, buddy.
Hello there. Well, first of all, it's way past my bedtime.
That's why we appreciate you being here, man.
Cool. So again, just a quick one. I don't know. I went I've been slacking off the health club recently, right?
Oh, okay.
And then just today, I went out for. It was only 2 miles, right? It was only 2 miles, but
Okay.
it was absolutely. We just went for a walk. It was absolutely teeming down with rain. And then on the way back, my drive home is next to a motorway, and I just Puddle etiquette. Because about 30 cars drove past. About 5 of them slowed down so that the puddle didn't just splash onto the pavement. But the other 25, I just needed to sprint past it so I didn't get soaked to the bone. I just wonder, is that a UK thing or how? Because you're a driver, right?
Yep.
Would you slow down? Or do you just speed up and try to splash everyone? What's it all about, man?
Well, it's funny, James. First of all, condolences for your loss in terms of you getting soaked on this walk. And congratulations on getting back out for a 2-mile walk. And James is referencing the Blathering Health Club, which you can access in Discord through the Patreon page. Little prompt, selling for that. I would not drive fast into a puddle. I would do everything in my power to avoid it. But I'm just that kind of guy. Again, I am a slow for all animals. If I'm in a 90% of the time, I'm in a good enough calm mood when I'm driving, I'll let you go first. Though there are the days where and maybe tonight might be one of them when I drive to the comedy show where I'm a little aggressive, and I acknowledge that where it's just like I'm like it's my right away. Like and again, we're humans, we're not perfect, but yeah, there's just some decency that I'd like out there in the world in terms of, and it goes the other way with like pedestrians. If you don't assume I'm going to, like, I'm in the 2,000-pound car, let's work on this together. I don't know in UK, in America, and I say this carefully because there's a lot of bicyclist accidents and deaths every year. And I do love the idea of walkable cities, public transportation, bike paths, all that kind of stuff. I'm for that. Very much for that. But bicyclists have a inherent arrogance and entitlement that I'm not alone in absolutely loathing in LA. And the amount of times that I've almost run into one where they ran a bicycle stop sign drives me crazy. Where I'm already driving, there's a stop sign that specifically says all bikes must stop, and they blow past it with a middle finger, and sometimes they'll confront you on it. And that's so going back to your question, I would keep you dry, James. And because I know you would respect me the other way.
You'd keep me dry. Can I just one tangential question?
Yeah.
Like, how are the skunks getting on? I get the squirrel updates, but we don't get skunks in the UK. How are they getting on, man?
Okay, and by the way, you put wonderful 3 super chats in here, James. I really appreciate you sharing that. And one of your ones was how the skunks getting on. Speaking of furries, indeed. Big news, actually. It's great that you asked this. Big news. I had a friend over last night, had a little quick fire pit session, not a super long one. She brought marshmallows. We dropped one. And we were about to. She was like, should we just throw it in the fire? And I was like, no, hold on. Let me put this marshmallow down where you normally put the skunk's food. I put it down. Gone. The skunk enjoyed the marshmallow. We have a sweet treat fiend in the yard. I might put another one down tonight just to confirm it.
Please do. Right. Thank you for putting up my nonsense. Right. I'll see you later.
You're the best, James. James, checking in for the UK. We love that there. All right. She said, hey, it's okay. I'm just dying over here. We got to check on her. Can we send this lady some tea, folks? Can we do this? Can we DoorDash some tea? Dr. Addie, the resident professor of Smart Things, is on the show. How you feeling? That's the big question.
My head is finally not pounding, so that's something.
Okay. I appreciate you being here because this doesn't sound, again, I don't want you to make you feel weird. You don't sound bad. It just sounds serious. And so I appreciate you staying up for this. This is the vid. You got the vid, right?
I got the Rona, Ken, officially after 5 years. Unofficially, I think I had the Rona in February of 2020, and I stayed safe until then.
So fascinating. First, I know what you mean. The good chance. There's a weird point in time where I think I might have had it too recently. It was weird. I don't know. It was just, it came and went so fast. But I have a real close friend who just last month got it for the first time after these 5 years. And so you experienced what he experienced. I don't know. I don't know if I need a play-by-play. I just, how do you feel now?
Well, oddly enough, Ken, I think I got it at Disney World both times.
Well, that tracks. That tracks. I once got a weird infection at Disneyland in 2008 that took me to the emergency room. Like a little problem with my head swell. It was a thing. So yeah, I love the theme park, but maybe masks, all rubber outfits or something to cover up. Maybe that's what we need there.
Yeah, something. Although I'm not going to tell my coworker that because he's already trying to throw in my face that I probably got this by going to Disney World, and I'm like, no, the students gave it to me.
Oh, yes. I actually understand what you're talking about. We're just like, because I have the philosophy that, yes, this is still an ongoing problem. In fact, there's maybe this new strain that's been hitting a lot of people. I've had a lot of people in my life recently get hit with it. But I also, and this isn't like I'm not going to give in to fear speech, but I'm like, we also do have to live. So mask up if you want. Never have a problem with that. I do it on planes still. But I'm not going to not go to Disneyland for fear of maybe catching anything, including this. But also you have those folks who are just going to be like, and so you want to kind of push that aside. I feel where you're at. Exactly.
So anyway, I do have to say I currently sound a lot worse than I actually feel. Knock on wood.
Yeah. Okay. Same. Yeah.
Just FYI, but I've been watching a lot of television in my altered state, especially yesterday, because yesterday I was feverish like all day. I think my fever broke in the middle of backstage last night.
It's a place to do it.
I was asleep, but anyway, that is not a comment on the quality of the content on backstage.
Steve could deal with it if it is.
But I've been watching a lot of television because I really haven't been able to process like anything to be doing things, which is probably for the best. We all need to slow down.
Sure.
And I've watched an inordinate amount. I am already an inordinate amount of television watcher, but I have watched an inordinate amount of television. I'm all caught up on Murders in the Building. I rewatched one of the 9/11 docs, and now I'm currently rewatching one of the other ones.
Respect.
I started with the One Day in America one this morning, and before the show started, I was rewatching Turning Point.
That's usually the path. It's usually the gateway. Yeah.
Watching New British Bake Off. I watched a documentary about a guy who killed his wife on a safari. I watched a baseball game. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to binge watch that new show on Peacock called The Paper. I was wondering, what is your go-to binge when you are sick?
Oh, that's a great question. I definitely think Star Wars still comes up. I do think Lord of the Rings director cuts all the way through is the Thanksgiving kind of tradition, but I've done that when sick. In my youth, in my younger days, might have been some pro wrestling, and that was even when it was harder to get to. Like, you didn't have WWE app or even YouTube. So, like, I remember I got my braces, was not feeling good that day. That's not exactly what you're talking about, but I was down and out for a day, right? A lot of pain. You get the braces for a time. And we went to movies to go, and my mom rented 2 WWF at the time cassette tapes, and I watched those. So I did that. Has a weird comfort. But other than that, like shows and stuff, unless it's Star Wars, I think that's probably where I go first.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been trying to do a healthy dose of like things I've been wanting to watch and things I've seen before in case I need to take a nap.
That's kind of where I go to all the time. It's that comfort thing, right? Like, even a lot of times when, like, I don't watch anything new if I'm working out. It's just that thing I have. So, like, if I need to get pulled into the current set that I'm doing or whatever, or even I start talking to myself because I'm doing some stand-up and the thing's on, it's just there. I love that, and I need that when I'm sick. I can't follow along new things if I'm out of it.
Yeah, it had to be the medication had to be in the right timing to enjoy some of these things, because I sprinkled in like some Game of Thrones, and I think last night when I was trying to sleep, I watched Barbie and
that's great.
And Little Women. Which, if you haven't seen Greta Gerwig's Little Women, it is a fantastic prelude to Barbie. It is the film she made before Barbie, and if you keep that context in mind, you can see it.
That's a great idea. I think I'll put that down on my list, because I haven't seen it in years, I will admit. I am a big fan of the mid-90s Winona Ryder one, because I saw that in theaters and I loved it. So maybe
Saoirse Ronan and Emma Watson and Florence Pugh and Laura Dern all give A+ performances in it. It has some of the most profound writing about being a woman until the monologue in the Barbie movie that I'd kind of ever like. Those quotes still come to mind, and I still watch those clips just
great
because they speak to me. Highly recommend, Ken. Highly recommend.
Okay. I'm taking it. I still have you have some things on my list, including Wicked, that I
watched last night.
Just comfort until I tend to get to, but I'm intrigued by that because I do love the story. Also, as a child, one of my early memories is my mom had the book. It was Alcott's book, just sitting there on her shelf, and that was one of my first, like, what's that? Oh, that's a book kind of thing. That's when I'm like 4 or 5. So I have positive memories of that in a lot of different ways. And I do, like I said, love the mid-90s version, so I'll check out
the
that
mid-90s version is great. The other thing, the other thing about the Greta Gerwig version is she doesn't tell the story linearly, and first, as someone who likes the mid-90s version, I was like, what is this? Like, we started in the middle of the story, but it really works really well for it, because it really helps link some of the character progression of like who they are versus who they become. Bob Odenkirk is in it too.
Hey, who doesn't love a good Odenkirk sighting? You know, absolutely, including Wayne's World too. Love it. All right, I'm adding to the list. I'm gonna get to it. Trust me, I will. A couple more losses on Madden, and I'll have more time to play.
I was gonna say, is it ranked higher than Wicked and DS9 at least? Are we actually gonna get to it?
Yeah, no, actually, it is. Don't tell Jared. It's way higher than DS9.
Okay. I expect a full report. It's an excellent movie.
All right, I will do. All right, go heal up, okay?
I'm gonna go make some tea.
Make some tea. Thank you, Addie.
Yep.
All right, Dr. Addie, we'll have some science back up and running there. Brady asks, wait, Bob Odenkirk's in Wayne's World? Got to watch that. Well, Brady, let's bring you on the show and talk about it, as well as anything you want to talk about. Brady, how you doing, buddy? Yes, Bob Odenkirk and Robert Smigel have what I would call a cameo in Wayne's World 2. My mom gave me $1 and dropped me off at the park and ride is the scene. So check it out.
No. Wow. Was Bob Odenkirk like a name actor back then?
No, he was mostly at the time a writer on SNL and a Second City performer. One of the first Second City performers that I think just was added to Second City and didn't come up through the program. I have to check my facts on that. But we knew him like just as an SNL nut in the 90s, like Odenkirk, Smigel, all those kind of writers, we knew them. So it was like really cool for us. We're like, oh, Odenkirk got in, which is why it's weird. And I was around Bob when my time in the Groundlings. His wife Naomi Odenkirk, I don't know if she still was Kristen Wiig's manager and everything. So they were sometimes around. I actually sat behind Bob at a screening one time. Really nice dude. When he started getting the bigger roles and to where he is now, including an action movie star, I still have this, number one, happy for him because I enjoy him. But two, have this like the kind of weird little comedy guy that would appear in things is an action movie star now. I can't wrap my brain around it sometimes.
Wait. Pause. Wait, he was a comedy SNL writer?
Yeah, he started at SNL.
What?
And then Mr. Show with Bob and Dave, right? You know that?
Look, no.
Okay. This isn't about your youth or your age. It's just it's one of those things. It's like Michael Keaton. I always go to the biggest example. He was a bigger movie star, but at this point, when Michael Keaton's cast as Batman, it's like, what the hell, that guy? Or bigger example, Bruce Willis cast in Die Hard. Like, there wasn't podcasts and movie talk shows on YouTube, but that was a big, are you effing kidding me? An action movie with the TV guy from Moonlighting. Bruce Willis, not going to watch that. Odenkirk doesn't have no one's against him, but he's a comedy character actor. Season 1 of Curb Your Enthusiasm is perhaps my favorite thing. He plays Porno Gil. Love Odenkirk. So love where he is as a respected award-winning actor and an action movie star now. But yeah, he's a sketch writer.
Wow. Okay, this is blowing my mind because on Google, when you look up Bob Odenkirk, the first thing that shows up now is like as a dramatic actor. That's crazy. Everyone's like, you didn't know that.
Comedians, man. You know, a lot of them. Michael Keaton stand-up. You can find clips of Michael Keaton stand-up. There's some great stuff out there. One kind of famous bit from the Hollywood Improv years ago. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a comedy, man. Because comedy, if you're in comedy, you're already broken enough to connect to the deeper themes that dramatic actors eventually need to get to.
That's true. Yeah. Like RDJ was also he started in comedy as well, right?
He was on Saturday Night Live at 20 years of age. His uncle is James Downey, who was a SNL writer for decades. Yeah. But I will say RDJ, I wouldn't say he started in comedy. It was a weird casting in the 85 season of SNL. He at 20 was added, and Anthony Michael Hall was added at 17. Which is insane to think because they were just really popular. They were like these popular actors, and SNL needed to be, Michaels had come back and needed to be saved. And so they made a lot of big, bold casting choices that did not work out. It was almost it was a disastrous season, but RDJ's in that.
Wow. My mind is blown. And it's funny. This kind of relates to my question because my question kind of it's weird because whenever I go into a 9/11 space, it's odd. I don't want to say comforting, but it goes back to when I was younger because I grew up in that era. Yeah. But my question is, like, what did the Twin Towers represent before the events?
What did it represent to me? Not a New Yorker. To me, it represented just part of the New York skyline that was iconic, whether you knew it or not. You know, I don't think I, growing up, knew that was a financial center. Or anything like that. But it was, every movie, Die Hard 3 comes to mind, Bruce Willis, Sam Jackson running, and it's behind you. Simpsons had a classic, wonderful episode.
That episode.
Calculash, crab juice or Mountain Dew? Ooh, I'll take the crab juice. That is a great episode in New York, and it involves the Twin Towers. I don't know if that episode's available now. King Kong says Laserbolt. Is it? It? Yeah, King Kong says Laserbolt. The Jessica Lange version, right? Laserbolt. So I think to me it just kind of represents what I'll say part of America's skyline. And New Yorkers are gonna, with their New York confidence, are gonna just assume that we are America's city, and maybe you are. But to me, it was just part of the That includes the Space Needle in Seattle, the Hollywood sign in Hollywood Hills there. Like, it's just one of those American symbols. Obviously, that was part of the reason it was targeted. So that's kind of what it represented to me. And it is still, outside of the docs that I watch, but it's still, you'll see it pop up in movies, and it is, to me, oddly eerie and surreal.
Yeah. And just recently, a lot of movies nowadays, when they want to tell you, like, oh, this takes place in the 90s, like in New York, they always have that one shot of the Twin Towers. It's like, look at us, we're in the 90s.
Yep. And absolutely. Welcome to the 90s, Mr. Banks. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that there.
Wow.
All right, Brady.
So it must have been really weird that they were just gone.
Yes. And it's funny. Your question's a great question. And as Vetnik, I kind of he says, hey, really good question. I had no real knowledge of the building until 9/11. Yeah, there's kind of the, it became this thing and a symbol and this great place of loss, and our skyline forever changed. And it was, but it's like, for a lot of us, we didn't spend a lot of time thinking about it, right? Unless you're in New York. And even though people I know in New York who lived there at that time, one of my friends worked there, had moved out 2 years prior. That's when I met her. One of my friends worked 4 blocks away, whatever. So it becomes this lost for us as the country, but it's weird sometimes to just think of these buildings that we just I didn't think about as much. So I don't know. I don't know if that answers your question.
Right. Yeah. Well, to end my call, I just wanted to ask one last thing.
Yeah.
And it's related to Wayne's World, where we started. Was
World.
Bohemian Rhapsody as big before Wayne's World?
No, and I would lean on, dare I say, our older audience, like Laserbolt or Old Handsaw, who might have a better understanding of this beyond me, because even for me, I just don't think I didn't live Queen during the 70s and early 80s. They were just something adults listened to. But yes, I was 10th grade. Wayne's World comes out. Wayne's World, which I think I just rewatched them, Wayne's World 1 and 2. For the most part, I think they hold up. Not a lot of things that we don't say anymore, but it's an early 90s comedy. Some things might be in there, but overall, I just think structurally, I think the humor, I think the characters, I think Wayne's World 1 and 2 still hit. And I loved them. Mike Myers, Dana Carvey, comedy heroes of mine growing up. So I was in 10th grade, just starting to enjoy music beyond what I was allowed to listen to or, thought I liked. My music tastes were growing. And I was the generation, the year, 10th grade, where Bohemian Rhapsody became the greatest song we ever had heard. This weird song. And all the adults in my life were like, weird song? What are you talking about? Weird song. That's Queen. And I'm like, I don't know who that is, but I love this weird song. So it absolutely, which is why I'll get your thoughts to that, but it's why I really miss soundtracks like they used to be. They still exist. James Gunn will make them continue to exist. I really respect what he does with them. But soundtracks in the classic sense, even if the movie kind of was bunk, if a soundtrack was great, you had a positive view of the movie, and then you could buy it. It was in your hands, and that was, to me, it's TikTok now. I'm not saying it as a grumpy old man, but that was how a band would get rediscovered, a song would catch fire, or a career would be launched. Was movie soundtracks, TV shows, yes, a little less than at the time, but I missed that there. So you bring that up. But anyways, thoughts.
Yeah, I just love that Bohemian Rhapsody nowadays gets rediscovered by every generation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had the exact same reaction when I heard it in middle school. I was like, what is this song? Yeah, I think it was uploaded on YouTube. It was one of the first music videos on YouTube.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And at around the time, I forget the exact year Freddie Mercury passed away, but it was around 91, 92 range. So it was surreal. It was like, you just discovered this. Who is this? And then he passes and all the stuff. So it was a great way to keep the legacy going. So I love it. I might just listen to it tonight.
And I'll watch Wayne's World when I finish this paper.
Do it and look for Odenkirk's in 2. I think, unless someone can correct me, he's in 2, right? Or is it 1? Oh God. All right. Hold on. I don't want to mislead you. Bob, I'm not looking at chat. So if anyone says the answer, and it's 2. Wayne's World 2.
Concert Nerd.
Concert Nerd. Yep. Oh. There it is. 1993 Wayne's World 2. He and Robert Smigel. All right. Thank you, Brady.
Thank you.
All right. Brady checking in. Love that there. A couple minutes left in the show. Got some calls lined up. Then I got to get to the comedy show. Do some comedy show. Kingsport House's Batman Forever soundtrack. Crow soundtrack. Oh, yeah, both those. See, I saw the Crow in theaters. I think I kind of liked it. You know, rest in peace, Brandon Lee, all this stuff. But, like, the soundtrack kind of lived on, even at my radio station there. Let's take a call from our buddy Brennan Mystical Mar. Mystical Mar is here, former Star Wars trivia champion. And actually, Brennan, you never lost that, right? So you're still technically your eternal champ. What's up, Brennan?
I got one of life's deep mystery questions for you.
Love this, Brennan.
What's your preferred toppings on hamburgers? Like I said, deep question here. You know, this is.
Yes, I think we talked a little bit of was it on Anytime Friday when the show completely devolved into chaos because I think Alden and I were just emotionally drained. So happy to reframe it here. I do love a simple burger. Now I will say, so I'll just give the answer. Give me some pickles, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, potentially grilled onions, but I'll just take a big slice of onion. And ketchup and mustard. And I know some people don't like mustard on hamburgers, but I like it. It tastes like a barbecue burger to me. That's where I'll go. That's all I need. Now, I do enjoy bacon. Cheese, and throw cheese on there too. I like a cheeseburger. But I will throw bacon, barbecue sauce. I like blue cheese crumbles. Like, I like fancy burgers. But at the end of the day, Brennan, you know, if I'm going over to your barbecue, that's what I'm hoping is there. I won't make you. I won't force it. I won't complain, but that's what I'm hoping is there.
Well, that would be there at our family barbecues, yes.
Love that. Love that. Though.
Yeah, I'm partial to putting ketchup and mayonnaise on the hamburger.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. You know, Jared the Tie Pilot's happy you brought that up.
Yeah, I mean, you know, my mom is a ketchup-only hamburger person.
Ketchup, like plain, just meat ketchup.
Meat, ketchup, lettuce, tomato. That's about it for her.
Okay, yep. Serenity Jane in chat saying I'm a plain Jane, just
and I'm
cheese.
always like, Mom, that's so boring. But
you know, I get it too. But the same with hot dogs. Like I love a fancy hot dog, as you all know. But like sometimes just give me the dog in the bun. I don't even need toppings.
I bun with some mustard. Yeah.
Yeah, just simple, especially if you're on the go. The big thing that makes it for me is like, where am I eating this? Like, I do love a bacon Western cheeseburger from Carl's Jr., but
yes, I'm partial to the guacamole bacon burger.
Oh, the guacamole bacon. You know what, Brennan? Like a guac or a South spicy kind of flavor. Oh, I do enjoy that. But you know, I also factor in where I am about to eat this. So if I show up to your barbecue and you have ample space at your table, and the plates aren't too flimsy, I might go a little fancier with my meat. But if we're out and about, or like say we're all in Laser Bolt's, you know, RV, and we don't have enough room, and I got to eat standing up or something, or I got to eat sitting down but far away, I'll go a little lighter.
I'll leave the eat standing up to you. I'll just sit outside.
Well, Brennan, you know.
I'll just sit out in the shade under the awning of the RV.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure Laserbolt has a beautiful awning that he sets up and does his Friday night flights, which you still all should be checking out on his YouTube channel.
Anytime you're in San Jose, for whatever reason, you have to stop by.
Mm-hmm. I get
nice little barbecue or something.
Okay, I'll get a barbecue burger up there. I love that. I appreciate that.
So yeah, one of the life's great deep probing questions.
I love the deep probing questions, Brett, and you have a deep spiritual heart, and that clearly is focused on the important questions that you brought today to the show.
Well, you know, I tried. Tomorrow's Sunday, so you know.
Well, have a good one there, Brett, and I appreciate you. Okay, buddy?
Okay, yep. Catch you later.
Brennan Mystical Mar. Check out his podcast page, Turners They Were Not. I was recently on it again. Always a thrill. Laserbolt has answered that. Yep, I do. He says, I do have a nice awning. I'm telling you, Forest Meat channel. I think it's there. All right. What time is that? We definitely have time for a call. We definitely have time for the final call of the night here. And it's going to be a doozy. Calling in straight we don't want to dox him, but in the general area of Kingsport, Tennessee, is Kingsport Cal. You kind of dox yourself in your name. I can't help it, Cal.
How you doing, Ken?
I'm okay, Cal. You want the honest answer? Outside of even the stuff I talked about up top,
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm hanging in there. Hanging in there.
Well, Ken, I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Like I said, I've been renovating and stuff, moving stuff around. Now,
Okay.
there's one thing. There's one thing that's been bothering me, but I have to do it. It's been like it's been a little over 7 years since my mother passed. There's a
Okay.
lot of stuff in this house that reminds me of her that I have no use for, but I've
Mm-hmm.
kept because of that reason. You see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying. So there's no use for it. Are they things of consequence? Are they just things that she left? Things that she left you specifically? What's the whole context?
Well, it's just a lot of things, like not like sentimental things like pictures and stuff like that. It's just like
Mm.
furniture, little knickknacks that I remember when I was growing up. You see what I'm saying? Things that I don't have any use for.
Yep.
And I've been going through getting rid of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I give some of it away to people, like knickknack things, stuff like that. But
Knick-knack paddywhacks. Yeah.
you know,
My parents are fortunately still with me. I did lose my grandparents. I also lost my uncle in 2012, one of the more important deaths in my life. And recently, my aunt just gave me a box of things that are his. And I don't know quite what to do with it. I'm just happy I have it. Haven't even taken it out of the box. It's sitting in my living room. Includes his Navy uniform. Includes a notebook he had when he was in the Navy. Also includes a board game called Billionaire that he loved as a kid that was like a version of the game he had for a little while. I don't know if it's actually the one from when he was a kid in the 50s, but my aunt gave me that, and she just trusted it. It was big for her to let it go, even though he's been passed now 13 years. It was big for me to receive it, even though as you're receiving it, you're thinking, none of this has any, use or tremendous value on the surface, but for my heart, it's everything. So I'm with you, Cal. When I move, or if I have to move, or eventually one day you move, hopefully it's not soon for me, I'm holding on to that. Also, in terms of the small things, I don't want to get too much in the details, but obviously you all know my recent life change in the spring of this year. So there were some things left behind that are things I use, things I need, things for the house. There's also like a pair of slippers left behind. And I was told, oh, yes, just throw those away. And okay, yeah. I still have them. They're still sitting there. They haven't moved. They haven't literally moved. They've been in the same spot since May. And I don't know. I know they have no value to me. The feelings aren't bad around them. It's a little different than what you're talking about, Cal. But I have to be honest and have to be serious. Like, I don't want to get rid of them yet, if that makes sense, if you know what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, well, you pretty much answered my question without me asking it. But yeah, I have those things as well, kid. Not just my mother's things, but yeah, yeah, I have those things, and I feel you. It's hard to let some of that stuff go, even though you can't use it. Now, with the thing with my mother's stuff and my grandmother's stuff, there's lots of uses for a lot of things that I'm grateful that I do have that I never would have bought otherwise. You see what I'm saying?
Right. I do. Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, that stuff, I keep, but I've just been boxing things up, moving stuff out, and
Love it.
just so I have to do it so I can move forward and put my own stuff in and make it different. It's pretty much been the same. Well, it's you know what I mean? I'm slowly changing it into my own.
It is, yeah. No, Cal, what I think, and I mentioned this on the show a while ago, going through again with what I'm going through. A friend of mine, my friend Owen, gave me some advice of do one thing different every day. If you go to that 7-Eleven, go to another one. You go to that grocery store, go to another one. You turn left, turn right, because you're reprogramming your life to be your own now. It's not your life. Or not, the life you had with that person. It's your own life. In that regard, you're always going to remember your mother. I know you said it's been 7 years, but what you're talking about is that, to me, unless I'm completely wrong, you're rewiring yourself for your future.
Pretty much. That's pretty spot on. But
Yeah.
anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you got to get ready, try to make people laugh
I
in
do.
this crazy climate.
And I know.
Craziness.
And
What?
I'm telling you, I'm not going to mention it. I'm not going to mention the current news cycle. I'm going to go, I said up top of the show, I'm going to go with some anti-ICE jokes. But that's like, yeah, even though that's very current because of what happened in Chicago yesterday, but it's like, I think people are expecting more of the jokes about the Kirk stuff. I'm not going to do it. But there's a whole lineup of comics that I bet will. So I'll report back on what they said, Cal.
Well, I'll tell you what's crazy, Ken. They always bring you in. What they brought you in when the fires happened. They bring you in now with this going on. What's happening anyway?
Cal, I agree with you. I appreciate you. All right. Thanks, buddy.
Break a leg, I guess.
Hopefully I won't because I need to walk home. All right. Thanks, Cal. Love you, buddy. All right. Kingsport Cal checking in here. And that is about the end of the show here because I do actually have to get going, get ready, work on maybe some jokes. You know, I hear those things are needed. Jokes might be good. We'll find out. I appreciate you all hanging out here today. We are rolling along here, so we will be back Monday for a good hour there. We'll also be back Thursday, Blathering backstage. Steve will be streaming here shortly in about a half hour, I believe, if I saw his thing. So we're happy to have you here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Would love that. Shawnee checking in from Queens. Don't say Long Island, Queens. It's a happy birthday to my loving father-in-law. Happy birthday, loving father-in-law from our friend Sean checking in. Cheers, raise a glass, all those things. What do the New York Irish do? I don't know. If you're in a position and you want to support over on Patreon, get on in there. Gets you in the Discord to the Blathering Science Club, the Blathering Health Club. Just general discussions. Also get things like Pop Rocket Radio, the video version of Monday Morning Show. You also get as a YouTube channel member. I'm selling it. I'm hoping you come on, support the show as we continue to grow. Having a lot of fun doing this. Perhaps the most fun I've had in years on YouTube. All right. It's all right. We'll see you next time, as we like to say, which I think was started by David Mackay. Bye.